I'd like to announce an executive session attended by the supervisors, manager, and solicitor on March 3rd to discuss personnel litigation and real estate matters. Now it's time we take public comment on non-agenda items. Anyone have any comments they'd like to make? Mrs. Francis Ellis. Sorry.
The mention setting in. I have both of this. I was taking a look at the stormwater ordinance that's online, and I've attended a couple of the planning commission meetings. I don't think 30 years ago when we built our home and it was just one home on a one piece tract of land, we could actually build a home under the prerequisites that the stormwater policy wants. And it seems as if you're an individual builder and you're just building one house, then it's really odious. But if you're like a Toll Brothers or one of these great big builders, you could pass the cost along to the development. But it seems like it discourages people who actually want to buy like 10 acres and put one house on it. That's my feeling.
Okay. Other comments? Brian Curry.
Question for you. We purchased road salt this past winter under his co-stars agreement, correct?
Right.
Have we put in the paperwork to do it again for the 2014-2015 season?
I haven't seen the paperwork for the 2014-2015 season.
It's due on the 15th, which is 5 days from today.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet, but we'll put it in. So.
Do you have any idea what target amount we're going to be putting in for?
I'd say 500 tons.
Okay. Is that what we put in for last year also?
We put in for, I think, 560 tons last year.
Okay. Approximately how much can we store in the salt shed?
950 tons maybe.
Okay. And approximately how much do we have left right now?
I'd say there's 200 tons left, but I have no idea how to estimate that.
Okay. At that type of value, is that approved at a Board of Supervisors meeting? Did I not notice it before, or?
What's approved?
The purchase of it through the co-stars?
Yeah, I don't know if we got it through the co-stars program this year or not. There's several groups of municipalities that offer a bid package, and I would have to look and see where we got it. We take the cheapest price, and also we found that there's variations in quality of salt, and we've had the best luck with a company called Oceanport Industries. The bid that we got happened to be from Oceanport, and it was the lowest one. That's the one we took. It was $52.53 a ton, I think we paid for 2013-14.
So we do go out for bids for that then, correct?
We don't bid it ourselves. There's always several groups of municipalities that go together. We choose which one has the lowest price, and then then the volume is much bigger and the price is
Got
cheaper.
it. So in other words, besides the Pennsylvania co-stars group purchase, there's other municipalities that we're members of that do group purchases also.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
There's Chester County Intermediate Unit is one group that offers that service.
Okay. Fuel oil and road diesel, is that also purchased under a group agreement?
We bid that, don't we, Jim?
Yes. Okay, we do bid it. Okay, I'll pay attention then in the future. And let's see. Oh, the camera at the front, is that running, or has the one in the on the ceiling been fixed finally?
It's fixed.
Is the one right behind you running?
It is not running.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
Can I stop you for a second? Francis, I got the impression you were looking for a comment on your question. And I believe, in talking to Steve, I haven't had the chance to read that document. It's quite lengthy. But that was mandated by DEP and the county down to the township level. The township did get some input, correct, on it, Jim? But it's pretty much, it's stuffed down your throat, so.
Well, see, I don't think that's fair either, because there's certain things that I saw in there that even people with a big piece of property, they could only enlarge either their barn space because of the water runoff, or a swimming pool, or if you want to enlarge a paved area in your parking lot, even that comes under their auspices, which I just don't like all these laws being shoved at us all at once.
I don't know when the county commissioners meet, but you should find out.
Yeah, like they're gonna pay attention to me. Come on.
Right, come on.
Why not?
You're a strong woman.
All right, Stone.
I would just like to say, it depends on the shape of the land, how onerous that is. That if you're downhill from somebody who's paved a whole lot of land, your property may be very much affected.
Well, I can understand that, excuse me, I can understand that, but there are people who, in this room, that live on large pieces of property. They do not live in developments, and we are very conscious of what flows down. When we built our home, we put in a geothermal system because we really cared about the environment. And we had, our wells were drugged up by an old-fashioned well driller, so we didn't close off the side streams. It would have been beneficial, monitoring to us to just go digging all the way down and do as fast as possible. We didn't blast out our construction because we didn't want to bother the people next door. We took a bulldozer
We
in.
get all that, Francis, but this is mandated through the county down to our level. We had very little input.
Andy Davis.
Yeah, as someone who makes their living dealing with stormwater management, if you don't like these things, the only thing you can do is vote in the presidential elections. Because really the EPA is run by the administration, not by election, and all of these things that you see are filtered down from that. That's where it comes from, and that's the bottom line.
Okay, Suzanne Roll.
I have a question. I mean, one of the things that fascinates me is, and I am not conversant with this at all, so this is just an outside thing. One of the things that the Philadelphia Water Authority is top-notch and known for is their water management.
Well, at least Philadelphia has something, right?
They have something that's really good, actually, and they've been really terrific in managing their storm water, more so than many municipalities, and they're nationally known for this. And is there any way that we can ask our county to go to the Philadelphia Water Department, whatever the proper title is, I don't think that's it, but, and say, you know, please take a look at this. I mean, they're dealing with situations that are hundreds of years old. Ours aren't quite that old, but how can we improve what we're doing without being onerous to our residents, and particularly to our larger property owners who have been sensitive to this situation? I don't know if we have that ability to say anything or not, but I think we should be able to.
I think that if you contact the county commissioners with that point, it will go a long way. You and several other people.
Well, you
that would-
just write down who I need to contact,
Ron
and
Costello.
I'd be happy to.
Ron Costello.
We just sold a home in Philadelphia. It was my family home. It was built in 1880. When the stormwater ordinance was passed, there was a tax actually put on your pavement and on your house to manage the stormwater, on top of all the taxes that the city incurs, and the city is a very expensive place to live. So that's something else you have to think about, the added taxes.
Okay, Sarah was first, Mike, you're next up. Okay.
I just wanted to comment that previously we had revised the ordinance to include Pennsylvania best management practices on stormwater management, and so we had been already put under mandate from the state to improve our ordinance, and then the state has now affected the county to implement more of the same. So John was right when he says this is coming from the outside. So in some ways, going to the county is good, but you also probably want to get to DEP, so the DEP gets to the EPA. It's a whole lot of chain of stuff outside of our ability to respond. We can try to moderate or look for places where we can soften things, the impact for our residents, but there's not very much that we can do.
Mike Schneider.
When's the mandated date for this? that has to be done by the county or by DEP?
The mandated date was January 1st of this year. As of January 1st, only 15 to 72 municipalities have in fact adopted it. Most like us have been in the process of adopting it because the ordinance itself is 150 pages long. So
Okay.
it's
And what's the penalty, when does the penalty come into play?
there are no penalties per se. However, for most municipalities that are participants in the MS4 program, it is part of their MS4 permit. This township has a waiver from the MS4 program, so we don't have that issue. We're told that if there are substantial delays in doing this, it will cause problems with DEP and DEP permits. The township has numerous permits from DEPs, including permits for the operation of sewage and water plants.
And what's the time frame for that? How long can you put this off?
Well, it's
A
we're in the
year,
process
2
of
years?
we're in the process of advertising it. It's advertised for adoption in March.
No, I know that's what you're doing. How long can you go without adopting?
I
Without
would-
any consequence?
I would not will go much past April 1st.
So all counties are going to be done by April 1st?
All municipalities in Chester County. This is a uniform, well, essentially a uniform ordinance throughout Chester County. All of the municipalities in Chester County are being forced to adopt a model ordinance, and there are some changes which can be made, but they are not significant changes in the scheme of the ordinance.
Okay, Mike?
Yeah, on a completely different topic. I noticed on the website that the year-to-date budget, the year ending December 31st, budget versus actual is up. However, looks like we exceeded income expectations and we, exceeded or didn't exceed, but to a positive, our expenses were down. Is there going to be any narrative based on, as a year-end cap, overview as to what that actually means? And if not, if there isn't one plan, can we think about one? I noticed other townships actually have some narratives out on their budget so that township people can actually understand what's going on.
Jim, you want to address that?
There is no plan, and the township has, not to my knowledge in the history, or recent history of the township, done such a summary. It's up to the board to require such a summary. I've seen what some other townships do. They're difficult to do because the question is, what do you focus on? Do you focus just on revenues? Do you focus on generally on expenditures? What exactly do you focus on? We provide people with the budget and the budget against the actual in great and gory detail down to each line item. So you've got, 18 pages, I think, of it. So, all the material is there for you to determine how the township is done, both in terms of revenues and expenses for the prior year.
Well, in a business world, you typically have that many line items in a budget, and you would look at, categories, and maybe have an overview and to say, this is where we are in income, this is why we have exceeded our income, expectations, and here's where we are in expenses and the major categories and the reasons, the reasons for such are this. It's really, I understand that it's a difficult thing, but it's taxpayer dollars. It is an important, we're talking millions of dollars. We're not talking $100 or $1,000. We're talking millions of dollars.
Are you looking for just a summary?
Looking for an executive summary, if you will. If I was in business, I would have an executive. I'd have to provide to if I was in my old business.
I just had dinner with you, and you pulled this off the internet. When did you have time to come up with this?
I don't think I have the answer to that question to you.
Let me see if Jim, would you mind? If you give me a few minutes of your time during the week, we can work up something in.
We can. The problem I have in some things, like, for example, with earned income taxes. Earned income taxes rose last year. I can't tell you why. It is not possible, given the reports that we get from the collector, to determine the exact reason why the earned income tax rose, other than that there's more houses in the township, and I assume that people make more money. But I can't tell you why that happened. I can tell you certain other taxes, like the real estate taxes, is fairly straightforward.
I think what she's looking for is an overview and broad brush stroke, if I'm saying that,
Yeah.
and you know, just the big numbers that are going to affect you. You're not looking for anything that's 10 or 20.
I mean,
maybe.
short of that, when you don't have that, then you want to go through each line item and start looking and saying, well, what's this, what's that, what's this, what's that? But when you have an overview of a narrative that actually is something that a layperson can read and somewhat understand, it really takes a whole lot of questions out of what's going on in our township.
Can you give us 2 weeks on that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Other comments? Mr. Scalchino?
Yeah, on the park next to the schoolhouse, what's the, I guess at some point the sheds are going to be taken down, that was, I guess, what we announced. How does the planning for that go? I mean, is that something that's in process or will needs to be budgeted?
We anticipate advertising in Lancaster Farming and other like publications for somebody to remove the buildings.
Okay. I mean, is that something that the Parks Commission
No.
does?
No.
So they're just going to remove the buildings and is that it?
Well, you asked what we're going to do with the buildings, you didn't ask what we're going to do about a park. Which answer do you want?
Oh, well, the whole thing.
We haven't decided what we're going to do about the park yet. Park and Rec Committee will be involved in that. They're not involved in removing the buildings, they're involved in paying for the park.
So is that something that's get budgeted for, to remove the buildings, or do they pay you for the?
We hope that somebody will remove them at cost. In other words, that we can do it, get it done for free. There's people in Lancaster Farming and other like publications that advertise for buildings to take down. You know, they have businesses that take buildings down and then recycle the materials.
Okay.
So we hope we can find somebody that'll, take up the money. So, Suzanne?
Is there any point in saving some of those materials to possibly use in the passive park? I asked this question in one of the meetings I've been in the last week or so, but it occurs to me that one of those buildings has a poured concrete foundation, and Jim said it was undetermined whether that concrete foundation would be torn up and disposed of or covered over with dirt, or is there some kind of a plan now that has an actionable process? Because I said, I know there's a poured concrete, I shouldn't say that. I assume there's a poured concrete foundation because I've read about it in the minutes. Slab. Sorry, not foundation, slab. Because of the buildings. Is it worth keeping that foundation and taking some of those wood products from the sheds to put a shed roof over that foundation? Has there been any thought given to any of that? That's what I really want to know.
We've thought about the concrete slab, and until we get the building away from it and see if there's any damage done removing the building and the condition of the floor, which I haven't seen for 10 years, we won't be able to say. Another thing you have to remember about that slab is that was poured to be inside a heated building. I don't know
Correct.
how it would fare out in the open, in an unheated environment, open to the elements.
Has it been heated all this time?
I don't know. How will I know?
No, I thought maybe we should ask. Or can somebody take a look at it and see what the condition is?
Yeah, when we take the building down, we'll take a look at it.
Not beforehand.
No. That's my opinion. And about recycling materials from the building, I don't know about that. I don't understand exactly what you'd be looking for. As much hue and cry has been raised about those buildings for the last 20 years, you think people would be in a
Oh, I'd
hurry
be
to get
happy
them
to,
taken
I'm
down?
going to be happy to see them gone, believe me.
Yeah.
Be happy to see them gone. I don't know if they're reclaimable in any way or not, but it would be a thought to look into the reclaimability of them, because there are a lot of people who use quote-unquote old barn wood to build things with, and I guess it sort of looks like old barn wood. I'm not really sure. I have no clue. But please think of the recycling measures that we can make use of, and take a look at that slab and see if it's something that should stay or go.
Okay. Other comments? Okay, next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the February 24th meeting.
I'll make a motion, sorry, did I jump in front of you? I make a motion that we approve the minutes of before me dated February 24th, or 2014.
Second.
Any comment? All those
One.
in favor?
I think Mike Crotty was there as opposed to me. And since Tammy wasn't there, I think that just got cut.
Okay, okay, well then, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes without amendment?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Jim, managers report?
Let's see, the Northern Federation will hold its monthly meeting tomorrow at 7 o'clock at the Warwick Township Building. The main item for discussion is setting up a website for the Federation. The Sustainability Committee will hold its monthly meeting on Tuesday, March 18th at 7:30. The monthly Planning Commission meeting will be held on Thursday, March 20th at 7:30. And the next Board of Supervisors meeting will be on Monday, March 24th at 7:30.
Okay, the roadmasters report for February 2014 is next. We conduct an ongoing maintenance and repair on township equipment, work with contractor removing trees on several roads in the township, fill potholes on a few roads in the township, and of course salted and plowed, and spent most of the month on storm cleanup. The active subdivision list, no activity needed. And the bills list is next. We have a general fund bills list for March 10th of $195,398.74. Reimbursable bills list is $6,008.14. Subdivision utility plant bills list of $16,404. For a total bills list of $217,810.88.
Move the approval of the bills list as presented.
Second.
Comments? Mrs. Ellis?
Richard Brown, store damage and cleanup. Do we get a discount from Richard Brown? The only reason I'm asking, there's a coupon saver that comes out in the mail, and it said that if you had over $900 of cleanup, that you would get $50 to $100 coupon back. I thought maybe we could take advantage of that.
Okay, we didn't offer any discount.
You didn't get offered any discounts? You want my coupons?
No?
And another question.
Was this discount for Richard Brown?
No.
It wasn't?
Yes, it was in the penny pincher.
It's not from him.
It says Brown. There's only one Brown that I know around here that's our street name. There could be another Brown, but I'll take a look.
I don't know. I'll find out. I'll ask him.
Okay.
So,
What's Betty Bounces?
that's a child's ride for community day.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, Brian, have your hand up?
Yes, the listing for Apex Computer, it says emergency management computer is needed, maintenance already. That was a brand new unit. Do we need some work on it already?
It relates to the install of the unit and certain computer software on that unit.
Okay. CW Rentals for janitorial services. We spent $555 in 1/1. Is that typical for what it takes to clean up the township building?
Yes, it's the same bill every month.
Okay. We have a digital alley for computer maintenance. It was for $300. Is there some reason why we didn't have Apex do that?
Yes, this was some special work that was done for the police department.
Can you go and give us a general idea of what the special work was?
It's not appropriate.
Okay. Granger, we spent $228 for trash bags. It looks like for the road crew. Is that real?
Is that real? Is that what you said?
We spent that much?
Did you see it says Park Road, Park/Road? On the bills list, it says Granger, trash bags, Park/Road.
Okay. Do we have them?
Did we really buy them? Yes, we really bought them, and the park takes a lot of trash bags.
Okay,
That's
that answers my question. Thank you. I noticed the plaster equipment. It looks like that after we bought the several $100 thermostat, for the grader, we went through $5,788. We seem to have torn up a lot of equipment doing road maintenance this year. Is there some reason why we're so hard on it?
Gee whiz.
Let somebody else answer that one.
Brian, there was an article in the Philadelphia Inquirer a week or so ago talking about how many, I think they call them cutting edge blades that they had to replace this year. Usually they replace one a year. I think this year they've replaced 15.
Okay, thank you very much. The service tire truck centers. Looks like we went to 2 tires on vehicle number 3 and then over $2,000 worth of tires on vehicle number 4. Again, is that due to the hard winter?
That has something to do with it because we ran so many more miles under adverse conditions.
Okay. What is the Massara matter again? I know I've asked before and I can't remember right now.
What is that, Brian?
It's in the legal bills from Mr. Sienna.
It's a lawsuit brought by the Massaras against the township for damages allegedly relating to the installation of stormwater pipes on Hollow Road.
Got it, thank you. I hopefully will not ask for that again. Under cell bills, we've got a bill from Sprint for $148.87. We've got a bill from Verizon for cell service for $87.47, and both of them going to emergency management. They now have 2 cell phones, not just one.
I don't know.
Sprint is the air card. Sprint's an air card, it's not the...
Yeah, Sprint is an air card. It's not a cell phone. It's an air card that allows us to allows them to do certain things. So it is something which assists them, but it is not 2 separate phones.
Okay. And then the grinder hearing advertisement bill from the Mercury. That thing was like 3 months ago. Is there some reason why that was so delayed?
We were forwarded the bill from the attorney for the zoning hearing board.
Got it. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you.
Hey, Artie.
That's right, Ken. Thank you.
Okay. Other comments? John?
The money for the schoolhouse, did that come out of open space or general fund?
General fund.
Pardon?
General fund.
General fund?
I got a question on that. Jim, you and I spoke about that some time ago, but I think that came out of the general fund, and that was from the, what I'll call the Hankin settlement money? Yeah.
It's not separately
I realize
designated, but
then there's an amount that's in the general fund that is for open, that is ticketed for open space.
that's correct.
And what approximately is that amount?
That
It's
was spent
left.
here.
No.
Well,
no,
that's
that is-
left. I'd hate to say off the top of my head. I can get that for you.
Thank you.
Okay, John? Okay. Okay, other questions? Motion's made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Jim, you want to go over the Euclid ambulance correspondence?
Periodically, this is just a notice, periodically, Euclid Ambulance Corps holds meetings with the townships that it serves. This is just a notice that the next meeting will be on the 31st of March. It is not open to the public, it's open to representatives of the township, police, and fire companies.
Okay, also under correspondence, I have a thank you to Jim Wendelgas and the township staff from Greg Carey, who was our PICO contact person. Last paragraph says, I'm thankful for all the support and close coordination that your emergency responders, public works personnel, administrative staff provided during our restoration efforts. Bertrandville tour. All right.
I've told you before that we have the county's town tours are going to be July 4th, and that's the one that Bertrandville is going to be on. I neglected to ask you for permission to close the road on the triangle around downtown Bertrandville, and part of Flowing Springs going up the hill the other way.
And you mean July 10th?
July 10th, okay. I said something.
Yes.
Okay, July 10th. The tours officially start at 5. The last tour leaves at 7 p.m. So we'd like to be able to close the roads from 5 o'clock till 7:30 or 8.
Okay. I think Florence Springs Road's a PennDOT road, so we'd have to contact PennDOT to get that done.
And
which we will do, I
Mike
guess.
will do that. And
Okay.
he said that when they ask for that, PennDOT is usually quite willing to go along with it. But I will ask Mike to do that, if you guys give me permission to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay with me. Do we need action to do that, or it's just say, okay? Okay, let's say okay. Under new business.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Advertisement of an ordinance adopting changes to the police pension plan required by the PMRS.
The Pennsylvania Municipal Retirement System has our police pension plan as defined benefit plan that's required by state law. They have come to us late last year and asked a series of questions to the township. The township responded, and based upon those answers to the questions and based upon changes to the law, they have requested that the township adopt an ordinance which brings the police pension plan up to snuff in terms of meeting all the current requirements of federal and state law.
Okay. So I hear a motion to approve.
Question first. So we're only advertising this ordinance, and after it's advertised, we'll have a chance to look at it and...
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. I hear a motion to approve advertisement of the ordinance.
I'll make that motion.
Comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
We have a new conditional use application for Glen Lynn LLC, 1825 Kimmerton Road, for a boarding stable and to install improvements in high groundwater areas. Property in question at 1825 Kimmerton Road is where the big horse barn is, in the big place on the right-hand side coming from Kimmerton toward 113, between Pewtown Road and Flint Road.
That doesn't require any action from us tonight, though.
You need to set a date for a hearing, which needs to be between 45 and 60 days. That would be between April 24th and May 9th.
Do you have any meetings? Do we want to do this on a regular meeting night or on a special night?
The meeting in April, I believe, is the 28th, so that would be appropriate to have it on the 28th. You do not have a meeting, your first meeting in May is the 12th, that's after that 60 days expires.
So April 28th is the one that works.
Correct.
And that's a regular
That's
supervisor.
a regular,
Meeting.
that is the fourth Monday in April, so it is a regular Board of Supervisors meeting.
Okay.
Is it wise to have a supervisor's meeting in the hearing? Same day?
Depends on what it takes.
What's that, the Board of Supervisors meeting or the hearing?
No, the hearing.
It's typically, the hearing will be held first, and if it needs to go beyond, you can set a separate date and continue it.
Would we consider starting the meeting at 7 o'clock instead of 7:30 that night? Does that suit anybody?
Okay, you want to have a motion to set the date as April 28th at 7 p.m.?
So moved.
Second.
So then you'd be starting with the conditional use, so you-
At 7 o'clock. Okay. Motion was made and seconded. No comments.
Francis, did you have something?
No, I was just going to ask if it was going to be started earlier, and they answered my question before I asked it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Advertisement of road materials, a bid for 2014. This is the same materials list that we used last year. There's no changes or additions. Do I hear a motion to authorize advertisement?
So moved.
Second.
Comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, park use for spring 2014. Tammy's worked out a schedule for the leagues, 2014. And rectangular field request for spring 2014, or Monday, Coventry lacrosse, April 1st to June 15th. Tuesday, Coventry soccer, April 3rd to October 30th. Wednesday, Coventry lacrosse, April 1st to June 15th. Thursday, Coventry soccer, April 3rd to October 30th. Saturday, Coventry lacrosse, 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And April 1st to June 15th. Sunday, women's soccer, 10 a.m. to noon, March 30th to June 15th. Sunday, Coventry soccer, noon to 4 p.m., April 6th to November 9th. Baseball field request, GEYA Little League, Monday to Thursday evenings and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. from March 24th to June 27th. Need a motion to approve that schedule?
Yes.
So moved. Second.
Comments? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Shredding event in October. There'll be a paper shredding event, no charge to residents. It'll be in the parking lot, and the date is?
We're hoping to be October 4th, but Ruth wanted to get your approval first, before she called the people.
So October 4th. So there'll be a shredding event free to residents on October 4th. Okay, we need a motion for that.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion that we have a shredding party on
My comment?
Wine and hors d'oeuvres to be served?
You're welcome to bring it along, and I will share it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then appointment of Christina Casey to the Park and Rec Commission. Ms. Casey was recommended by the Park and Rec Board members. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Hear a second? I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Son.